I love Spore. I had Spore when I was growing up, and I remember playing it on my old laptop that I got for college work, and once I had finished doing assignments for college, I played Spore if I wasn't playing The Sims, and I thought it was amazing, because you could create whatever your heart desired, within DNA limits and what the game allowed. Recently, there has been a leak of a Spore prototype, and I had a lot of fun playing it and comparing it to what we got in release. I'll be talking about my own experience and what I discovered, so there may be speculation, but I will also be linking sources below if I've used source information. So let's sit back, relax, and let's have a look into what the 19th of February 2008 Spore prototype together. Spore is known as a god game, and in this game you rule over a creature you create from a tiny cell all the way into space travel. You can customize your cells and creature as much as you like until you hit tribal, and then it is no longer an option. This prototype is a build from 6 months before the game was released. It's dated the 19th of February 2008 and has the name Spore Alpha 99. The final build of Spore was completed on the 9th of August 2008, with it being released in the following countries on the following dates: Australia, the 4th of September 2008, Europe, the 5th of September 2008, Japan, the 5th of September 2008, and the US, the 7th of September 2008. Alpha 99 came with a lot of differences that are not included in the final game, and it also came with a lot of debugging tools. This build does get more unstable the more it is played, and in this video we'll be looking up to Civilisation, as that's where the game crashed for me, and now my save will no longer load without crashing the application. There is a readme file, and this has things like game cheats, control instructions, and game dev cheats. Game dev cheats would have also been used for debugging purposes, I imagine. This file was last updated on the 14th of September 2007 by what I assume is a name MRW. I tried looking in the name on the release build credits and I couldn't find anything close. I also looked in the prototype credits, but there's no names there at all. Now, keep in mind, this is not just the only prototype that's available. The Spore website actually has a list of their prototypes on their website, and these are Texturebox, Tidepool, Gonzago GL, Waterboy, Net City, Gaslight, Crowd, Spug, Space, Cell Culture, City Maze, Iome, and Particle Man. All these programs do different things. For instance, Texturebox demonstrates the application with Paint-like program tools, and Gonzago GL is the final game-ready prototype developed for Spore. These are separate things for what I'm talking about today, and I have linked them below if they are something you're interested in, as they are open to the public. With that, let's move into the next section. The start screen was very similar to what we know and love today, with some main differences being placement of icons and the introduction screen when loading into the game. The logo is also different, as well as the load up animation when launching the game. And to be honest, I actually like the older, darker logo. These are the animations for the prototype and then the release animation. I think the older animation is super cute, and it would have been nice to see it in the final release. On the main screen itself, the Spore logo is missing from the top left hand corner of this build. Options are down in the lower left screen. Pressing the Spore button will bring up a bar at the bottom with settings. There is a lot more planets to choose from when starting the game compared to the release build. As you can see, I have these things that are permanently on my screen, and these would have been used for the devs for debugging purposes, I would have guessed. So as everyday users, they won't mean much to us, so try your best to ignore them. To access the creator screen, you need to hover your mouse inside the middle of the Milky Way. This will bring up several different creators for you to play with, unlike in a release version where the creator tools are in the top left hand of the corner. I personally like that change, it does make it a lot easier to navigate. There are several creators to choose from, and these are the Accessories Creator, Creature Creator, Town Hall Creator, Spaceship Creator, Vehicle Creator Air, Vehicle Creator Sea, Vehicle Creator Land. Accessories was later remodeled into Tribal, Civilization and Space Outfitter in the final release. Early Creature, the creature you are when you are leaving the sea, is not in this build. The creators for some of these things only have the code for the type of builder and not the actual name assigned yet, but the buttons still work as intended, so this is purely cosmetic at this point. There isn't many options for creators such as military and creature, but other creators such as buildings are much more fleshed out, so it appears only a few things are left to be added at this stage. Both builds allow you to test drive your creature in Creature Creator once made. They both appear to have the same movements available. In both builds you can spin, war, flip, call, sit, punch, the point, hippity hop, walk in place, hot foot, wave a punch, ladder, hey, cutie, flex, sumo, happy, angry, sad, laugh, scared, swoon. Only the release build has options to see the creature both running and walking in place at the click of the button, but you can make the creature walk, at least in the prototype build, by clicking on the ground. Both versions let you change the environment your creature is in for a test drive. You have 4 options in total. The first option is the default, the second option is a place where the trees can listen and hear everything you're doing, the third option is filled with fire, and the last option is the abyss. You can create babies in both versions too to see how your creature reacts, as well as what the babies will look like. You can take pictures of your creations and email it as a postcard if you'd like to. You can also archive the pictures. Archiving the pictures in the prototype will stick them into a folder, which can be located going to user data, pictures, backup. So that's it really for the creator side of things, so that I looked at least. So let's move on to gameplay. When starting a new game in the prototype, you can select the planet and its name. You can also choose a theme if you want to, and you have the option to choose your cell, which you must do in order to progress. You can either create your own cell or choose one that's been pre-made. If you do make your own, you can make it into either a herbivore, carnivore or omnivore, unlike in the release version where you will need to choose if you want to be a herbivore or carnivore, with the option of being an omnivore later if you get the cell part for it. There is no difficulty setting in this build. I made my cell a carnivore and made it some sort of electric creature, seeing as all the parts are free for you to choose from in this build. Once you have chosen your cell, you are released into the tide pool to eat and grow. In this build, you are quite literally thrown into the deep end. There is no explanation to what you need to do, this was later added. Gameplay is very similar to release. Sounds of cells are the same, the progress bar is very similar to its release counterpart as well. There is some graphical glitches when it comes to eating other cells if you're a carnivore, but this is just cosmetic and doesn't affect how the game plays. It's a little hard to control the cell during this build. I found he liked to zoom near the edge of the screen a lot. If you press the spacebar in this build, it will bring up some more dev tools regarding things like creature movement as well as cell count. You can evolve your creature during the stage as well. Doing so means you will no longer have access to all the cell parts like you did when you were asked to create a cell, if that's the route you chose. So if you want to change your creature a little later, you'll need to now collect the parts for it. I did find that if I was targeted and munched on by an omnivore, then it was basically a death sentence. No matter what I tried, I could not escape and was permanently stunned and caught on its mouth, so I needed to try and avoid omnivores. I found collecting DNA points in this build a little more work than compared to the release build, but that's really just down to tuning, and because there was no way to select difficulty, I wasn't too fussed about it. Once you do have enough DNA, you'll get the sound cue letting you know, and then you can move on to the next stage. There are differences to cutscenes for this prototype and its release, so let's have a quick look at them and then we'll move on to the next part. You've done it! You can now leave the sea! Doing so allows you to give your creature legs so that they can walk around on land. To be honest though, this is completely optional, you don't have to do that. If you want to be a worm, then be a worm. Once the cutscene is over, you are thrown into the world with little guidance on what to do. You have your progress bar again, but it's missing the little symbols to let you know when the next milestone will be. In this build, your only guidance is the top left-hand card letting you know what to do. This will change depending on what you need to do. In this case, as we're a carnivore, we need to eat some meat to survive, so we'll need to find a carcass. The map is missing from the bottom left-hand corner in this build, so you will be relying a lot on your mating call to find your way back to the nest during this time. The social and hostile interactions in the game are here during this time. Unlike the final release, depending on what your creature has determines what they can do. Mine currently only has sing if it wants to be friendly, or bite if it wants to be hostile. Naturally, I chose to be hostile. It's an eat or be eaten world, and I will not be eaten here. Hunting another species and successfully killing them makes them release a ghost into the air. Once you've eaten them, they'll leave behind a skull where you can pick up and bring with you. This is not included in the final release, which I feel is a missed opportunity. I want to carry skulls with me as a creature. Once the species is extinct, all of our species will release a ghost into the air, and they'll just kill over and die. You can eat the corpses and this will regain your health and strength. If you are low on health, you do have a heartbeat sound playing. In the release, you do have a heartbeat sound, but you also have a visual cue to let you know you are dying. Calling your mate will let you customize your creature, so you can make it a bit more into what you want it to be instead of a walking hybrid or cell stage and creature. You'll have more options here. These are mouth, eyes, arms and legs, hands, feet, extras and details. You can only attach what you can afford. So the creature I made, I wanted to have 6 legs, but can only afford 2 sets of feet. So it just had these really weird gangly limbs that just flailed around everywhere whenever it moved. As with the cell stage, you'll need to find different creature parts to create your creature more, so your options are quite limited to begin with, but this will grow as you get more parts. The way to modify your creature is pretty much how it is in the final release, and a lot of the information you have here is in the final release too, with just a small visual changes. When your brain is due to upgrade, you will need to do this manually, instead of it being automatic like it is in the release. Evolving your brain lets you do further things, so I would do this as soon as possible. A feature that was removed in the release game was the ability to upgrade your nest. As your brain grows, you have tasks to upgrade your nests, and these range from gathering sticks to gathering shells and gathering rocks. Those tasks become available after reaching certain milestones within the creature stage. I would have liked to see them keep that feature in, because it's just something I enjoy doing when I wasn't running around killing everything I saw. As with the release of the game, you can socialise with other creatures to add them to your pack, but when I was doing this with the birds, I managed to successfully socialise with them first time, but when I tried adding them to the pack, I didn't have a social meter, and even when copying their movements, it still failed. So it might be bugged at this stage, or I'm just unlucky. So I went back to killing everything I came across. As your creature grows, you'll be prompted to migrate. Without a map, you'll have to rely on your mating call to find out where everyone has decided to wander off to. Luckily, there is also a visual aspect too to finding your pack. There will be a path on the ground for you to follow, so don't worry too much if you can't locate them with your mating call, as the indicator can be quite confusing. At least it was for me. Controls again are a little bit hard. You can turn the camera with the right mouse button, and if you hold the left mouse button, you'll move in that direction. You can also move the AWSD keys to move combined with the mouse button controls. That was by far the easiest way I found to control the creature in this build. I did find the creature stage to be the longest stage in this build as well. For me, collecting DNA points and progressing in general was extremely tough. Once you're ready to move on, you'll get a pop-up asking you to move on with options yes, placeholder, and no, placeholder. You do not get an option to edit your creature before you move on like you do in the release, so if you want to edit your creature, you'll need to select no, mate, and then change them before manually moving to the next stage. All in all, I had a lot of fun playing the creature stage, even if I just did kill over and die randomly, and was then stared at menacingly after being born. There are other noticeable differences between this build and release. For instance, in the release I saw a flying saucer that came and abducted a creature. Like before, there are cutscenes and these are different, so let's have a look at them. Now, I'm not very good at stages past creature and cell. I struggled with it a lot when I was playing as a teenager, so enjoy my struggle with this stage. The loaded screen for this stage has a placeholder image and placeholder text. Once you are loaded into the stage, you can select the colour of your village and what style hut you would like. In comparison, for release you are given a colour and a hut and you will like it. You have access to everything in this version, so you are free to choose what exactly you would like to have in your village. As before, you are not handed instructions of what to do, you have to figure it out. To gain more tribe members in this build, you will need to select a tribe member and then click on the one with hearts. In the release version, you just need to add a baby by clicking on the hut and then clicking the add baby button. You can hunt and fish just like in the release version, and when it says fish or hunt prey, it literally means one or the other. While you can gather both, they will not add to a combined total. You will have to get 50 of either one. The other tribes are the same species as your tribe, just different colours. Those colours won't match the name of they are, by the way. I was attacking clearly the pink tribe, but the game says it's the yellow tribe when clicking on any one of those members. My chieftain also died and was gone forever, and then I found out that chieftains do not respawn in this build like they do for the release build, so I was chieftain list for all the rest of that stage. Being raided gives this really cool rock music sound. The only problem is, I lost during a raid, and after losing, that music remained on my tribe forever afterwards when I re-entered the game. I also had problems where everything was just happening at once. I was being raided and have people coming to steal my food at the same time, and this was just a lot for me. Don't get me wrong, this can happen in the release version too, but in the release it's so much more manageable. I did eventually manage to keep off both attacks that happened at once, but I did die a few times during that process. And I'll be honest, that alone wanted me to make me quit this prototype build, as it felt like I was never actually going to get past it. I then discovered if I sell my destroyed buildings, I could get the money back and then get a brand new building of the same type, and that did help as it meant my tribe members who were assigned those things didn't actually lose the weapons. This can't be done in retail, so it was patched out. Once you are finally able to destroy a village, you will need to destroy every single building in that village. In retail, you only need to destroy the chieftain's hut for the game to register it as a conquered tribe. And let me tell you, once one tribe is destroyed, it suddenly gets so much easier to play the tribe stage. Completing the tribe's phase shows you collecting all 5 totems and a message at the bottom saying deleted. What has been deleted? All the other tribes? The text that was meant to be there? Likely the text, but to be fair, there's also a fair chance it means the other tribes because I did, delete them. Let's have a look at the cutscene differences and then we'll move on to the final part of this video. This is the last stage I managed to play before the game crashed on me and wouldn't allow me to continue with my save without crashing. Entering this stage prompts you to create a city hall. For whatever reason, doors do not sit on the floor in this build, unlike in the retail version where this has been fixed. In my case, when I started Civilization, I still had rock music going on, and that was only audible if I was zoomed into the city. At the start of the stage, there was text saying medium, and I'm not too sure what this is, but I'd guess this is a possibility of the difficulty, but I can't confirm that for certain. In the release version, when you enter Civilization stage, you are prompted to create a land vehicle from the get-go and given instructions for controls. However, this is not the case for this build, at least not with the vehicle. It does give you basic instructions on how to move, and then once you click on the building, you can start creating your land vehicle. Other types of vehicles are not available at this time until you conquer or make friends with other cities, so I found this a little bit difficult. You will need to build the house and then place it down so you can increase the population of your civilization. You will also need to buy a car in order to take over a spice geyser, the main way you will gain resources at the beginning of the stage. This is the same for the release version too. So because I have no idea how to play Civilization stage, I went immediately for violence and ended up being war with a purple nation that was actually green in colour. My city also had this thing where it constantly liked to release fireworks, and it made trying to do anything really hard, so I'm really glad that was toned down in release. Because I had no idea what I was doing and left it far too late to do anything, green, but actually purple, took over basically the entire map, and because I was at war with them, they were constantly coming to attack my city with not only cars but with boats. And the only guidance I had was build some city units, click on an enemy city and select capture city. The larger the force, the more chance of success. I also did get a message from Scion City, who I think saw at me because their text was just stars, and I think I was throwing back at them because my text was just stars as well. And then we were friends. And then they also didn't like me because I was a military civilization. I was also too close to them because, you know, I had a choice when I didn't. And apparently I also attacked them. But if the colours weren't mixed up, I'd be able to confirm or deny if I did actually attack them. Scion was orange, so I'm not actually any the wiser if I did attack them or not. Whatever option I chose made us allies. And that didn't really help anyway because I had no idea where they were on the map. At least in retail the colours are fixed and I actually know what people are saying to me. I did eventually help the yellow city take over the green city, and as my game was coming to an end, the yellow guys had taken over the entire map. No matter how much I took over one city, they were there in an instant and took it back over. and then came to my city to try and take that over too. What I did notice is that no one went into any other specializations, such as religion and economy. This could be because they weren't actually implemented yet. In the release, the other nations went a lot into religion, and I had pop-ups for trade offers with other nations. However, in this build, everyone was military, but I was hated the most for being military. I'm sure someone who knows how the civilization stage works would be able to handle this no problem, but for me, this was the most difficult thing to play, and even if the prototype did not crash, I don't think I would have actually gotten past it to get to the space stage. I found it difficult to do in both prototype and release, so it's not like it's just the prototype's fault, I'm just really bad at this stage. I think this was the least enjoyable stage for me because I'm just bad at it, and I'm not too sure if there is an end programmed into this in the release version. Other nations came and successfully managed to take over my city, but in this release, while the yellow city could have easily taken over mine, it never did. Like before, there are cutscenes, so let's have a quick look at them. All in all, I had fun playing this Build of Spore, and it's so interesting to see who was changed and what remained in the same between the two versions. I hope you enjoyed this video and liked looking through the different things with me on what this particular release had to offer. Remember to stay safe and stay healthy, and I will catch you all next time. Goodbye for now.